Dear friends, dear masters, dear gods of Malaysia, I welcome you to all to this today's platform. We have a special guest today from India, Senior Master Vamsi Krishna. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure to introduce you today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Master Vamsi Krishna is a civil engineer by profession. As you all know, he's very prominent figure in PMC Tamil. So he also teaches meditation throughout Tamil Nadu, although he hails from Andhra Pradesh. So he's practicing and teaching meditation. He came to this movement in 2002, almost 19 years masters. So he has done extensive research on pyramids. He has built more than 150 pyramids in India and I think one or two in Malaysia and Indonesia. Okay. And apart from these masters, he also organizes spiritual retreats and organizes spiritual tours. So this is a short biography of Senior Master Vamsi Garu. Sir, introduce about yourself, about your background on the family side, and then you can take off on the subject on science of pyramids. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good evening, sir. I am Vamsi Krishna from Chennai. So I'm part of this movement last 19 years. So I introduced to this meditation through pyramid. So pyramid has introduced me what is meditation and all. And before me being a part of this organization, I was working in an NGO called SPERC, Shelter Promotion Engineering and Research Council, where the intention of the organization is to do research and discover new possibilities of constructing low-cost housing, and developing rural technologies. And we are in the organization to spread this rural technologies to entire India. And in this journey, we have identified a house which is in the shape of a pyramid, where pyramid is a stable structure scientifically, and when it is constructed in an earthquake prone zone, pyramid can withstand all earthquake loads, all the earthquake whatever the uh, Richard scale it is. So it is the only structure which can survive all the natural calamities. So in this direction we were doing research and developing the rural technology and low cost housing technologies, and we were teaching to many NGOs in northeast India, especially northern Himalaya, northeastern part of Himalayas is prone to earthquakes. Richter scale around 4 to 5 per every month. So and we have started teaching this technology to Philippines and some other Asian countries also. So in this regard, one of my friend, he was doing meditation. He was doing pyramid meditation in Andhra, and he approached me for construction of pyramid. Till then, my understanding, my perception towards the pyramid is pyramid is the structure for housing should be constructed only for the earthquake prone zones. And that fellow has as an educated being and said that pyramids not only for this earthquake prone zones or not only to withstand the natural calamities, it is the structure which can enhance your consciousness. It is a structure which can increase the duration of your meditation. It is a structure that can introduce you to yourself. So he said all these three. I didn't understand what is this. It's a new terminology for me. So let me understand. And he said meditation pyramids can be built for meditation also. So originally Giza pyramid was built for meditation. That's one of the reason. Out of many reasons, that's one of the reason. Then being a scientific background and scientific temper, I had developed a curiosity to learn, to understand, to and started doing experimentation on pyramids. So then I slowly started reading a lot of material available in the internet and studied a lot of books on pyramids and practiced meditation inside the pyramid. So just because only for the pyramids I started doing meditation. Otherwise, previously I had a negative opinion on meditation. So and this pyramid made me to change that opinion. And I was introduced to Patriji, and Patriji personally said we have to do a lot of works on pyramids and construct pyramids across the globe. And when he said for the first time, I said I didn't take it more seriously because maybe he's a guru, he may say something to his devotees. I was seeing in that perception only. But later on, when I was approached for pyramids by many pyramid masters in Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, some in North India, northeastern states of Himalayas. So then slowly my career started. So I left my job working in an NGO, and slowly I have taken the career in pyramid construction and exploring many places and exploring many pyramid masters and learning from them and listening to their experiences that literally uh, changed my perception towards my research, towards my pyramid meditation and all. And I have started teaching meditation also. And at the same time, I started taking workshops on pyramids, how to make your own pyramid. I used to teach people how to make their own pyramid. And that this the journey goes. And in between, in 2006, I got married to one of the pyramid master. Her name is Deepa, and it was a pyramid marriage in the presence of Brahmashri Patriji. And now I have a daughter, 14 years old. And this is a short about myself. And coming to the pyramid presentation, I would like to give you a PowerPoint presentation. Just give me a few seconds. Today, we are going to have a brief understanding about pyramid energy. What is pyramid and what is pyramid energy? And how this pyramid energy can be utilized to our day-to-day activities, and how this pyramid will help us to do more meditation intensively. And pyramid it's a derived from a two Greek words. It's called a pyra plus amid. Pyra means it's a fire. Amid means in the middle, fire in the middle. It represents actually, even in the Egyptian language, it was called as a kuti. It means the light. The pyramid is a structure, symmetrically both sides in two directions, symmetrically structured, and it's a sacred geometry. Sacred geometry. It's a fifth dimensional sacred geometry, which has a power, which has a capacity to hold the energy, which has a capacity to attract the energy, which has a capacity to enhance the energy, and it will distribute to that energy in all the direction and doing all the positive things. And just being the similar to a magnet, magnet attracts iron particles. Similarly, pyramid attracts cosmic energy. And when pyramid constructed with an angle of 51 degree, 51 minutes, if you can see the image here, pyramid has got a square base and four sides, and each side of a pyramid is an isosceles triangle. When four isosceles triangles join together and bend at an angle of 51 degree, 51 minutes, this forms as a pyramid. And we have considered this 51 degree, 51 minutes from the Giza pyramid. We have taken the reference of the Giza pyramid from the Egypt. So based on the parameters of Giza pyramid, we have arrived at this angle. And being a, if you see in this image, you can see an image, first image where this is called as a king's chamber. King's chamber is nothing but the center of gravity of a pyramid. It's nothing but the uh, center position inside the pyramid, one third from the base and two-thirds from the apex. So that is where the maximum energy is focused, and that is why it is called as a fire in the middle. So when compared to doing meditation outside the pyramid and inside the pyramid, it is three times more powerful. So before getting into this, we will understand pyramids are not the new structures. Pyramids are the structures which was built by many advanced spiritual advanced civilization which planet Earth has seen so far. And there were many ancient civilizations. Even today, the history, the archaeological departments are still trying to explore more on this. There was a civilization called Atlantean civilization, Lemurian civilization, Mayan civilization, so Inca civilization. There are many civilizations which we have yet to identify. The history what we study in the schools or colleges is not the history which has uh, been been there some hundreds of maybe lakhs of years back. The history what has happened before is completely different to history what we learned from the textbooks. There was a civilization called Atlantean and Lemurian civilization. They have extensively they were using pyramids for what? For doing meditation, for creating a healthy environment when somebody is not well. So those persons are advised to sit inside the pyramid or sleep inside the pyramid for a certain time, and they are completely healthy. Because pyramid is a structure which attracts cosmic energy and holds that energy. And whoever is there inside the pyramid, and those people will get this abundance of energy. They are under the shower of cosmic energy. So when we are in the shower of cosmic energy, so we always will be in a positive environment and very healthy environment. So if you see the different types of different shapes of pyramids, for every shape and for every type, there is a meaning. Especially a pyramid which was built in Giza, Egypt. It was constructed when the Atlantean civilization was completely destroyed. After the destruction of Atlantean civilization, there was a uh, disturbance in the Earth magnetic field, and there was a lot of catastrophic happened in those times. And because of the tectonic plates, and there was a disturbance in tectonic plates, and because of that, a lot of tsunamis, earthquakes. It was keep on bombarding across the globe. And the people, the Atlantean people, with the help of uh, Syrian star system, with their technology, both combinedly has built this pyramid, exactly identifying the place which is the center of the earth in terms of landmass, center of the earth. And after constructing this pyramid, the earth's magnetic field was stabilized. That is the impact where one pyramid can impact the whole consciousness of the earth. And after building this pyramid, the earth's magnetic field was completely balanced, stabilized, and tectonic plates across the globe has been stabilized. And not just only this pyramid. There are many pyramids. One pyramid in Bosnia, which is 2.5 times bigger than the Giza pyramid. Pyramids in Indonesia, that is called Borobudur. Not Borobudur. There is one pyramid, ancient pyramid in Java. So it is not yet popular. So still, archaeological department is trying to explore the history of that pyramid, and many pyramids in uh, what is this? Mayan civilization in Peru, in a country called Peru in South America, part of South America, and many pyramids which was there in central China. Many pyramids in Sudan, Egypt, and many other African countries, Namibia. Like that. every continent has got a very ancient civilization, and every ancient civilization, they know the science beyond what we understand today, the spiritual science what we understand today. And the present society, the present humanity is yet to explore to explore the spiritual science in a very big way. Just now we have been stepping, and now in somewhere in 1960s, there was a new terminology called quantum physics, quantum field, which was discovered in the in the laboratories. But our ancient masters, ancient siddhas, ancient mystics across the globe have discovered this quantum field some millions and lakhs of years back. So now the science has gotten got a maturity to understand what is the quantum physics, and through this now the quantum field, the quantum physics has came into a limelight. And now maybe another 50 years or 100 years we can still we can understand more about pyramids. And these pyramids, which was especially this Giza pyramid, which was built 70,000 years back, with reference to with reference to the book called The Secret Doctrine, written by Blavatsky. And the Egyptian dynasty, the kings of Egypt, they were there in the Egypt some 5,000 to 6,000 years back. So for them itself, this Giza pyramid is a 65,000 years old monument. So the original builders of pyramid, they have written all the science and technology and all the spiritual part of the pyramid, and it was written in the manuscripts. But unfortunately, in the present situation, in the present humanity, in the present understanding of the humanity, we have not yet matured to an extent that to understand the science of the great builders of a pyramid. So, a scientist or an archaeological department, they have come with their own stories and trying to educate us. This is how the pyramid was built. But actually, pyramid was not built with the hands. Pyramid was built with the psychic energies. So when we can refer to a book called The Convoluted Universe written by Dolores Cannon, we can understand how this ancient monuments has been built with the psychic energies. So something is there which which the ancient civilizations are carrying that we are not uh, we don't understand. The science, the deepest science, what they are carrying, the deepest understandings about the cosmos, what they are having, we are not in a position to understand right now. And of course, we are marching towards that. And one fine day, maybe 150 or 200 years later, the humanity will try to explore the things in more way. But here, Brahmashri Patriji, um, who is the founder of Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement, has introduced pyramids to the world, that pyramids can be used for doing meditation and for healing also. And so Patriji is the only one person I can say on this planet who has taken this pyramid technology to a mass level for implementing constructing the pyramids and implementing the pyramids and taking the awareness of pyramids to a mass level, so that everybody can access the construct, access, and enjoy the pyramid energy, and they can enlighten themselves. And Patriji says one thing: when we built a new pyramid, any additional pyramid which was constructed on the planet Earth, even today, that will contribute to the enhancement of consciousness of the planet Earth. When the planet Earth a consciousness expands, automatically the living inhabitants, living beings on this planet also will upgrade their consciousness levels. And pyramid or the higher dimensional sacred geometrical structures. It means when you do meditation inside, when you do meditation inside, and pyramid will help us to transform from our beta brainwave state to alpha brainwave state in a very short time. So what is beta, what is alpha, what is theta, what is delta, what is gamma? We'll try to understand these things. When we are more tensed, when we are working in an office or in a business, and we are having a heated conversations and all. So in that time, our brain will be in a beta state. Again, there are three types of beta state: high level, mid level, and low level. And when we are in the beta state, we are not in a position to listen to anybody. We are in a we only try to defend that whatever he thinks is the right. Sorry. So when we cool down, when we sit lonely, when we sit, when we get just relax for some time, automatically our brain waves from beta high level to low level it comes. And when we are sitting inside the pyramid, our beta low level will be transformed to alpha level, alpha brainwaves. So when we are in alpha brainwaves, we will be more suggestible to the suggestions. And when somebody says something, we'll try to uh, understand what he's trying to say, and we'll try to understand what is happening within us, and we'll try to understand how we have been behaving in the beta state. All these things. When you do meditation, you will be in an alpha state. When you do more deep into meditation, automatically you will be transformed from alpha to theta state. When we are in the transition, or when we are in the alpha transition between alpha and theta state, we are more suggestible. So whatever the subconscious mind we have, subconscious mind is nothing but the programming of the conditioning of the what is it, feelings, thoughts, emotions, our behavior, our attitude, our belief systems, and our perception. All these things will be programmed in form of a subconscious mind. And if whatever the subconscious mind is holding us for us, and the physical reality is the reflection of our subconscious mind. The diseases, the situations, all the good and bad achievements, all the good and bad incidents in life, what is happening, all those things are just mere reflection of the subconscious mind. If you want to change the life, you have to get into the alpha state by doing meditation or sitting inside the pyramid, and you can do auto suggestions or affirmations so that you can change your life. Of course, this is a big subject. I don't want to touch right now. Now we'll get into the pyramids. So crystals are very important elements which has to be part of the pyramid. Individually pyramid has got its own energy. Similarly, crystals has got its own characters, its own healing properties, healing energies and all. But when we combine pyramid energy with the crystal healing property, this two will become like a synergy. Energy plus energy is equal to synergy. So it will become more powerful. Here, when we keep a crystals inside the pyramid, crystal will act like a catalyst, and it will become more powerful, and it will enhance the crystal properties to 400 times. So the healing properties within the pyramid, when you place a crystals inside, it is enormous, and healing happens very fast. I have there was in my journey of all these 19 years, I have seen when I was working in a pyramid valley in Bangalore. There, one small incident has happened. Somewhere in the night after 11 o'clock, a few people came to visit the pyramid valley, and I took them to show the pyramid and king's chamber. And 10 people have come, and in those 10 people, one person, he has taken non-veg. He had a meat and as a dinner, and he came to the pyramid. And rest 9 people out of 10, all are vegetarians. Only one is a non-vegetarian. The people who entered the pyramid, all the out of 10, the fellow who has taken non-veg and entered the pyramid, and because of that, he was not able to withstand that energy. And pyramid tried him to kick away from the pyramid. And the moment he entered into the pyramid, he started having a wheezing problem, and he was not able to stand in the pyramid, and it just came out. Once he comes out of the pyramid, he was fine. But when he is again entering into the pyramid, because of that pyramid energy, he was not able to stand. Because eating non-veg, it means that we are deteriorating our own psychic energy, our own energy field, And because of eating of non-veg, it shrinks our aura. And because of that, when we go inside the pyramid, and pyramid is a high energy uh, area, high energy environment, so it will not allow this kind of low energy people. So the people who were vegetarians, they happily went inside, they have done meditation for a couple of hours and they just came back. So what I'm trying to say, pyramid has a power. When we have a proper diet and enter inside the pyramid, and when we and whatever the issues we have, it can be a spiritual issues, it can be emotional issues, it can be a mental issues. Wherever there is a destruction in these three energy fields, pyramid will try to correct, pyramid will try to heal, pyramid will try to add more energies to you, and it will make you to be more energetic so that you can understand the life in a more better way. And the pyramid will make you will give you energy confidence to do meditation for lengthy hours. And this is a pyramid house. Pyramids can be built with any kind of an material. Material makes us very little difference, but it is a very micro effect only. But overall, it's not in a big way. So we can conclude that material does not make any difference in the pyramid energy. Any material can be used, and it can whether it is a small pyramid or big pyramid, it doesn't matter. Every pyramid has got its own energy field. So he's the man. He's the living encyclopedia of a universal consciousness, the founder of Pyramid Spiritual Society, and he is establishing the truth across the globe and establishing a lot of meditation centers across the globe and teaching awareness to everybody so that everybody will his intention is to make everybody as a Buddha, everybody as a self-realized human being, everybody as a God realized human being, irrespective of the any religion. And meditation done within the pyramid or beneath the pyramid, we call it as a pyramid meditation. And it is when we do meditation outside the pyramid for 1 hour, when we do meditation inside the pyramid for 20 minutes, it's equal. It means it's 3 times more powerful. Many people experienced uh, feeling very comfortness and calmness and high energy flow within the body. This is all the normal experiences, and many people have experienced the healing of their own diseases in a very fast way, in a very short way. And I personally, somewhere 16 years back, I suggested to one person who is having a blood cancer, and doctor has given a ultimatum, that this person is going to die within a couple of months. And I just casually gave him a suggestion that why don't you do meditation inside a pyramid? Because many people are saying, and there are many books, many scientists are saying, when you are under the shower of cosmic energy, that energy will heal every every molecule, every cell in your body, so that you'll be out of diseases in a very short time. And that person has taken it very seriously, and he has built a pyramid within 10 days. And he was there 24 by 7, sleeping inside, doing all his activities inside, doing more meditation. He has started doing meditation 4 hours per day, and within 10 days he has started doing 12 hours per day. Pyramid will help us to do meditation in a lengthy durations and in a very short time. We may think that doing meditation for 12 hours within 10 days from the day one, it is impossible, but not like that. When you get inside the pyramid, when you are exposed to the pyramid energy, automatically you will be aligned with the energy of pyramid, and it will be doing more meditation. Somewhere in 2003, I think so, when I read a book called Living with the Himalayan Masters by Swami Rama. There I have learned, many ancient masters, ancient mystics in the Himalayas. They were doing meditation for 500 years, 1,000 years, 10,000 years, and all. then that particular piece of information has created a curiosity within me. If those people have done such a long duration, there should be something more important than their life, something more, something mysterious things which are yet to known to the normal human people, normal humankind. So why don't I try to do meditation for 24 hours, just for one day, if not for years together? Then immediately I have started doing meditation, and in the first sitting, I was not able to do meditation for more than 20 minutes. After practicing, I thought I should not go in a single stretch. Let me do practice, let me tune my body, tune my mind for sitting for 20 minutes. And every week I started increasing 5 minutes. And second week I've done for 25, third week for 30 minutes, fourth week for 35 minutes. Like that, I keep on increasing. And consistently, sincerely, I was practicing. And over a period of 1 year, I have reached to a state where I was able to sit for 12 hours per day, and I was practicing, and after 2 years, on a single stretch, started a single stretch. Saturday night 10 o'clock I have sat for meditation, and Monday morning 10 o'clock only I got up, and I was forced to get up from the meditation. So 36 hours in a single stretch. No, it was like sitting for just 10 minutes. And after that 36 hours of long meditation, I was not eating for the next 7 days. I was just having a water. That's it, and there is no, sleep also. I was feeling such an energetic, more energetic, and no issues in the body, no issues in the mental, emotional, and spiritual part of me was absolutely right. And whatever I was thinking, I could able to manifest everything. So, and doing meditation 36 hours inside the pyramid is almost like doing 3 times more doing outside the pyramid. Nearly some more than 100 hours doing outside the pyramid. So that confidence has given the pyramid has given me that such a immense confidence. And pyramid is a natural generator of negative ions. What is negative ion? When an ions in the atmosphere, when it is charged with electricity, is called as a negative ion. When the ion loses its electricity, it's called as a positive ion. It's a technical word. So what is the impact of negative ions? And where do we find more abundant of negative ions? Generally, in a deep forest, we find abundance of negative ions because the nature will generate a lot of negative ions. And when we are in the deep forest, even when we are just walking in a single stretch for 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers, we don't feel tiredness because of the presence of abundance of negative ions. When you inhale that negative ions, you'll feel more energetic, more healthy. But whereas in a very busy streets in the cities, there the negative ions will not be there. There will be an abundance of positive ions. And when you inhale that positive ions is nothing but the pollution. Negative ions is nothing but the pure air, pure energy, which was being created by the nature. So pyramid is a natural generator of negative ions because of the energy it holds, and the environment around the pyramid. As you know, pyramid is a natural generator of cosmic energy. Generate means it collects and it radiates. So when it's collecting and radiating, the environment around the pyramid will get energized. And when it get energized, all the positive ion environment will be turned into a negative ion environment. It means that we are creating a high energetic environment where we can be more healthy, we can do more meditation, we can have a more positive things and everything. It goes like that. This is there is a photography called the Kirlian photography, which was discovered by the Russian scientist. And this photography, this instrument has a capacity to capture the energetic field around any element. It is a living being or non-living being, it doesn't matter. But actually, science says there are two beings, one is living and non-living. But as a spiritual science, there is nothing called non-living being. Everything is a living being. And it will be carrying its own consciousness. And every element, whether it's as per the science, it's a living or non-living thing, it contains an energy field around it. And this instrument has a capacity to picture that energy environment, that energy field around it. If you see a picture here in the left-hand side bottom, a pyramid, which was taken with the normal photography and one photography taken with the Kirlian photography, you can see the energy field, energy projecting outside. It's nothing but the ionic column. Pyramid generates a ionic column around a pyramid, and that ionic column was visible when you take a picture with the Kirlian photography. And pyramids are the structures for healing or for doing meditation. Pyramids can be made, if you see in this picture a woman lying down in the inside the pyramid. And I had an opportunity, I had a experience. I was sleeping inside the pyramid for more than 40 days continuously when I was working in for one project in Hyderabad. So there, when what my experience when I'm sleeping inside the pyramid, it will be not completely wakeful state. It will be not completely deep sleep state. I will be aware of. I will be aware that I'm sleeping. I will be aware that I'm dreaming. So I have my awareness. Generally, when we are sleeping, we don't have, most of the time we don't have awareness that we are sleeping or we are in a dream state, in a dream world. But when you are inside the pyramid, your awareness expands. Whether you are sleeping or you don't sleep, it will be like same thing. But you will be receiving more energy, and you'll be body will is completely relaxing, and you don't need a more sleep also. Just sleeping inside the pyramid, having a deep sleep inside the pyramid for 1 hour is equal to 6 hours of sleep. To that extent, you will be relaxed. And when we are under the shower of cosmic energy, we don't have the luxury of thinking about the past and the future. We most of the time we will be in the present moment when you're doing meditation. And when you are in the present moment, you are thrown into uh, a present moment. I mean, in that present moment, your energy will pump from the heart chakra to the Agnya chakra, that is third eye, that is called the pineal gland, nearly some 50 times to 300 times. When you are doing meditation inside the pyramid, the energy flow within the body is to such an extent. When you are exposed to that amount of energy, what happens? That generally this pineal gland releases serotonin and melatonin, which will help us to get into sleep or to come out of the sleep. Melatonin will help us to get into sleep. Serotonin will help us to come out of the sleep. If these two chemicals are not there, we can't sleep or we can't come out of the sleep. When third eye, that is called the pineal gland, it is exposed to the high volume of cosmic energy, that will start releasing metabolite, a hormone called metabolite. That is a magical chemical. That chemical, that magical chemical has a number of other chemicals called benzodiazepine, DMT, and all those things. So all the other chemicals combinedly, what will be the impact in the body is it is an anti-aging, it is an anti-inflammatory, it is an anti-cancer, it is anti-diabetes, and a DMT is a chemical which will help, which will make you to see the invisible worlds, which will make you to access the invisible wisdom available in the invisible worlds, which will make you to access the abundance of cosmic energy. And all this process will happen within the pyramid in a very short time. Normally, it takes some time for while you're doing meditation, but you doing meditation inside the pyramid, it will be happening in a very short time. And because of that, because of that only you'll be introduced to yourself that you're not the body, that you're not your thoughts, that you're not your emotions, that you're not your belief system, that you're not your perceptions, that you're not your attitude, that you're not your behavior. All these things are nothing but the personality. The pyramid, the meditation inside the pyramid will allow you to travel beyond your personality. And when you are traveling beyond your personality, you will be remained as a pure awareness, pure consciousness. And you will identify yourself not with your name, not with your feelings, not with your belief system, not with your perception. You will be identifying yourself as a pure awareness, pure consciousness. And when you identify, when you get that understanding, then that moment you can understand the oneness. That moment you can understand that you are the part of the cosmos, that you are the cosmos, that you are the God living in the physical body and living on this physical planet to have a physical experience. And I have done a few experiments with the help of GDV. This is not nothing but ARA mission. GDV means gas discharge visualization. This was discovered by the Russian scientist, where this instrument will measure the photonic energy inside the pyramid. So with this, if you see the graph, we have choose one place called Palamonero. There is a pyramid in Palamonero. It is a size of the pyramid is 60 feet by 60 feet, almost 18 meter by 18 meter. There we have taken 4 readings, and that pyramid has got a king's chamber, queen's chamber, and a crystal chamber on the flooring of the pyramid. Three chambers, and we have taken one more reading in one corner of the pyramid. If you see the graph in the king's chamber, in one graph there are 2 things. One is a lower reading and higher reading, upper reading. Lower reading is a thing. Actually, we have asked 4 volunteers, and before they entering into the pyramid, individually we have taken the aura, we have measured the aura of there, and we asked them to sit inside the pyramid, one in the king's chamber, one in the queen's chamber, one in the crystal chamber, and one in the somewhere in the pyramid corner of the pyramid. And after doing meditation for 30 minutes, we asked them to come out, and again we have taken their aura measurements. And if you see the king's chamber, just when you do meditation inside the pyramid for 30 minutes, there is an increase of energy for 30% in king's chamber. In queen's chamber, there is an increase of 20%. In the crystal chamber, there is an increase of 25%. And in one corner of the pyramid, there is an increase of energy of 10%. So what does it mean? From this, what we understood is, when you construct a crystal chamber in the king's chamber, you get more energy and more stabilized energy. If you see this, in king's chamber, the potentiality of receiving energy of the human body has increased. If you see the crystal chamber, the stability of energy receiving was uniform, and this indicates that there is a lot of energy available inside the pyramid. When you do meditation inside, and you will be the most you are taking more advantage of receiving more energy inside the pyramid, and not just for meditation, and it's for healing also. And the same experiment we have done in the Pyramid Valley International in Bangalore campus. One in the king's chamber, one in the pyramid base, and one in the outside the king's chamber. Sorry, outside the pyramid. And there was again the study shows, in the king's chamber there is an increase of 25 to 30%, and pyramid base there is an increase of almost 20%. 20%. It means, it shows that there is a lot of energy focused inside in the king's chamber. And this is the few research results which was done by the Ukraine scientists and Russian scientists together somewhere in the before the division of USSR. They have the scientists have identified 20 hectares of land and each hectare has got a different variety of plants. It's all combinedly. Some are fruits and some are vegetables and some are some kind of paddy fields, all those things. And before sowing seeds in the field, they have kept the seeds inside the pyramid for a few days, around 1 week. After that, they have started sowing, planting and sowing seeds in the 20 hectares of land. And after that, the after the study and for 30 sorry for 2 months to 6 months, the study shows the yield of crop has ranged apart from 100%, has beyond 100%. A few crops are yielding 20% extra to 100% extra. So this does not require any fertilizer. Um, this does not require more of water. Even in the drought conditions, also plant can grow. So pyramid, when the seeds or saplings are kept inside the pyramid, the plants will get a lot of energy and it can grow faster, healthier, and more nutrient. And by growing this crops within the pyramids and by placing small pyramids in the field, and before sowing in the field, they were exposed to this pyramid energy for a week. And by doing all these conditions, no, by following all these rules and regulations, the yield of the crop is more, and that crop has yielded uh, organic food with the high nutrient value. And seed generation and plant growth are faster when placed within the pyramid. This we can do a small experiment, sir, by putting this what is it mustard seed and placing a open frame pyramid on the place where you have planted this mustard seed, and the other place we can choose a little bit far, maybe some 20 feet or 30 feet. You can place the mustard seed. So identifying two places. One is covered with the pyramid and one is not covered with the pyramid. You can see the germination of the plants, the growth of the growth within the pyramid is faster. You can practically check it out. And I have done some experiments by putting a tomato, by placing a tomato inside the pyramid. And I completely forgot. And after 4 months, I remembered that I have kept tomatoes inside the pyramid. After opening the pyramid, no, even the tomato looked fresh, but it was shrinked after 4 months. Generally, it takes some a week to 10 days to putrefy. But here, when I placed the tomatoes inside the pyramid, it stayed fresh for more than 4 months. And after that, I disturbed and I have cut the vegetable and I have smell it. It smells as if it is very fresh. And I have given all the 6 tomatoes which I kept inside the pyramid to my mom and doing curry and sambar, and it tasted very well. And this is one small experiment. Uh, it is a green gram kept in water and it was sprouted. You can see two pictures, one within the pyramid and one without pyramid, outside the pyramid. Outside the pyramid, after 10 days, the sprouts has got attracted fungus, whereas inside the pyramid it stayed fresh. And the growth also is a more growth. You can see the roots. It has grown very lengthy. And we have in Andhra, we have constructed, we have placed pyramids in the accident-prone zones. After placing the pyramids in the accident-prone zone, there was a zero record. And this was placed in Andhra and as well as in the Madhya Pradesh also, Nagapur. And these are the pyramids. Pyramid spiritual societies in India and across the globe has constructed and constructing and creating awareness to construct the pyramids. And this first picture is a it is a Pyramid Valley International. It's a 160 by 160. It's in terms of feet. It is almost 25,000 square feet, which can accommodate nearly some 4,000 people at a single shot. And the second one is the Maheshwara Mahapyramid in Hyderabad, where it can accommodate almost 7,000 people. And one more pyramid, which is going to be the biggest in India, that is 222 feet by 222 feet, which is upcoming in Tamil Nadu. And many other pyramids are in pipeline. And apart from this, we have Pyramid Society has constructed almost 23,000 pyramids across South India, mostly South India and other parts of um, North India, and two in Indonesia, and I think more than 10 pyramids in Malaysia. This is the pyramid which was built in Indonesia. It is a 36 feet by 36 feet. It was built in a resort, and it was surrounded by a paddy field across thousands of acres. And there are many books on pyramids where you can gain a lot of knowledge, and you can explore the things, and you can start doing experimentation, and you can start doing more and more meditation. So this is a brief about pyramids. So I can take any questions.
Thank you so much, Master Vamsi Garu.
Thank you, sir.
You really gave us abundant knowledge on the science of pyramids. Very vast subject, actually. It's not a small subject. In fact, I think you will cover more for that.
Yes,
So
sir.
I think
I
our
tried to-
masters. So I think our masters on this platform
Yes,
have gained sufficient knowledge on this particular subject, sir. And also your sadhana of gradually progressive increasing your sadhana day by day and sitting for 36 hours is a great inspiration and motivation for us, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Very good, very good. And one more time, I would like to thank you for the wonderful presentation you gave us. And before I hand over to the audience, I have a small question, sir.
Yes, sir.
We have identified some land to build a pyramid here, but
Okay.
we see that there's a high tension cable running across the land overhead.
Mhm.
It's a very high tension cable. So it is. Can we consider the land for construction of pyramid? Can we consider the land?
So how far? What is the distance between the high tension cables and your land, sir? Which you have?
I understand from our agent that it's running above the house. There's a big bungalow house there, somewhere in the middle of the land. In the middle of the land, it's about
Okay.
about 17 acres of land, and both sides. So it's running the middle.
Okay.
So
At
it's
least we have,
quite close to the pyramid. If we construct any pyramid, it'll be quite close to it, within 300 meters radius.
300 meters radius. Yes. I think we can choose a place which is farthest from the high tension cables, and we can do a construction there. And by placing certain crystals, we can avoid that disturbance also.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to you later on this. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
I'll open it to the floor for those questions.
Can I ask you question?
Yes, sir. Please.
I'm Chandra Rao. Namaskaram, Vamsi sir.
Namaste, sir.
A great master. It's our honor to be in our Zoom session today. Thank you very much. Right time, sir, because we are in the movement of identifying a location to build one a huge pyramid in Malaysia, sir. Okay. My question, sir, is there any issue of vastu in constructing of a pyramid, or we can just erect it as our wish?
There is nothing called vastu. It is all there in our minds that we have addicted to vastu, sir. Frankly
Correct.
speaking, and while constructing pyramid, we need to follow certain rules. Like the inclination of pyramid should be 51 degree 51 minutes, and
Exactly.
second, the alignment of pyramid. Any one face should face magnetic north. So we say true north, but fortunately, Malaysia, Singapore, and Bali, this lies in a line where the magnetic north and true north is 0.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. We have to only follow these two principles. That's it, sir. But that
Oh,
can be placed anywhere in the home or on the land, or it can be.
oh, great, sir. Great, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Just now in your pictures, there was one master meditating in uh, three pyramids
Yeah.
in single. What's
Yes.
any
Yes.
significant to have three pyramids in layers? Sir?
Yeah. That is actually, yeah. We can have at least one. It need not be three. There, that picture shows that we are having three different sizes of pyramid.
Sizes. Because I see some masters where they wear a pyramid cap and then sit in the pyramid structure and meditate. So will that magnify energy, your cosmic energy intake?
Yes. That
Yeah.
magnifies energy. And
Uh-huh.
crystal, when we use a clear quartz crystal or quartz crystal, that is a crystal which will align all our six chakras. And that particular crystal will attracts more cosmic energy.
Correct.
Yeah. So with the
No,
combination of pyramid with the crystal,
yeah,
it is more energy, and more pyramids will add more energy.
no, sir. You see, we have a one by one pyramid cap.
Hmm.
And then by wearing the pyramid cap, we sit under the, it's 6 by 6, the copper rod pyramids,
Copper pyramids, yes.
copper pyramids. So we hang on the ceiling. So with this cap on our head, we sit inside the pyramid. So will that give us additional energy or triple time?
Yes. Any when we are sitting around the clusters of pyramid, we get more energy, sir.
More energy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
when single pyramid is there, it has got its own aura. When you place one more pyramid next to that, and the two auras of each pyramid will get merged, and it will create more energy.
Yeah.
It's like when a group of people it's like you're doing group meditation.
Great.
When you're doing meditation in a group, it is more stronger compared to doing meditation as a single person.
Correct.
Similar kind of logic will apply.
Sorry for asking more questions. I'm very curious.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
You see, we are advised to do meditation under the pyramid structure, but there are pyramids with blocks, where we just place it outside. I mean, it's not. We are not putting it on our head or anything. Just a small 3 by 3 inches pyramids.
3 inches by 3 inches.
Does it bring any energy? Because some of
whether it is a small pyramid or big pyramid, it will attracts energy.
Okay.
You can place a pyramid cap on fruits and vegetables.
Correct, sir.
So that vegetables will be more. If fertilizers are used in that vegetables, automatically what happens when you place a pyramid, that will that the toxic nature of that chemicals will die.
Okay.
So there was a combined research by the Defense Research Development Organization India with the Indian Space Research Organization and with the Bhabha Atomic Research Center, with the Army Operations and one more government. Total 5 organization under the Ministry of Defense. They last some 2018. Since 2018, there was extensive research. And what they found is when they kept 60 kgs of potato inside the pyramid for 60 days. Okay. And after the 60 day, they have taken that vegetable and they have tested the protein value, nutrient value. The nutrient value has gone up by 9.6%.
Okay.
When we pluck the vegetable or fruit from the tree, the nutrient value will come down because it's no source of energy for that, source of life. But whereas when it was kept inside the pyramid is giving us the source of life, and that vegetable, it is becoming more nutrient. And the toxic nature within the vegetable or fruit, because of using fertilizers, the toxic nature will die and automatically it will become organic.
That's right. Okay. Understand. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks for asking.
Yes, I have one question for Vamsi sir. Actually, I
Sure.
think you kind of answered my question. See, normally when we say north, we only know about the magnetic north. But now we learn there is the true north, magnetic north, and then there's also the grid north. So there are three different types of north. So I think there's a difference for us to know what is magnetic north and also true north. But I think you've answered the
Yeah.
question by saying that our magnetic north in Malaysia and the true north is in the same grid line. So I
Yes.
think it's okay for us. Thank you, sir.
But comparatively to the other parts of, especially if you take in India, the deflection between the magnetic and true north is around 1.3 degree. So for constructing small pyramids is negligible, but when we are constructing bigger pyramids, we need to consider that small variation also. Otherwise, but the magnetic north will vary from place to place, sir. And the Giza pyramid, which was constructed in Egypt, it is exactly coinciding to the true north.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Another question, Master Vamsi.
Yes, sir.
Why, you see, after Brahmarshi came into realization and getting his enlightenment, in India, we couldn't find any pyramid structures. Sir. So that means Hindu civilization was not aware about this pyramid's energy compared to what we have showed all different parts
yes.
of the world. Yes.
It's a beautiful question. But Agama Shastra, the science of temples, that has a pyramid technology. Especially if you see the Brihadishwaralaya in Tamil Nadu, the inclination of the temple is 51 degree 51 minutes.
Okay.
It is merged inside the Agama Shastra, the science of.
Oh, great. Okay.
Is there, no? That is also there are different layers, and when it goes, it will be like a convergent. It is like a cone shape inside.
I see.
So there are some. If you see the architecture of the temples, it will be like something like this from the top, like a small flower. It's all energy points only.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Originally, it was that actually, and later on, by the science, the temple science has developed many other things by incorporating the Sri Chakram. Pyramid is nothing but Sri Chakram.
I see. Oh, okay. So we were not left out then.
No, we are not left. We have more advanced science. Other people are just only focusing on the shape. We are focusing with the architecture, with the beauty, with the science, with the sacred geometry. It's a mixed.
Great, sir. Thank you so much. Okay.
Hi, Vamsi sir. This is Jayaprada here. My question is not regarding pyramids, but I know that you have meditated for 12 hours and then 18 hours. I didn't know that you have advanced to 36 hours. My question here, sir, the throughout your meditation, right, the 12 hours, 18 and 36, are you like constantly aware, or have you gone to an unconscious state?
When you come out of your personality, there is no time. Here in the third dimensional reality, we are addicted to the time. We are addicted to the time. But when you go beyond this third dimension, I mean, into deep meditation, the time is not a factor, considerable factor. You are just there for many eons. From the perspective of doing meditation doing meditation for 20 minutes, 36 hours is impossible. From the perspective of doing meditation for 36 hours, doing 12 hours meditation is simply possible. You know, your belief systems and your perception will change gradually when you progress and when you attain more confidence now. And when you gain more experiences, no, that experiences will educate you and it will remove the limitations. which you have been carrying, so that your awareness and consciousness will expand. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. So, sir, see, like when I sit for meditation, because until now I still have the doubt whether I was meditating, but I know I didn't go to sleep because earlier, when Pataji first came into our life and taught meditation, during that time, I know at times that when I sat for meditation, I would have slept off. I know that I really would have slept off, and when I came on, I was very lethargic. But now, when I sit for meditation and come on, even after 1 hour or 5 hours, I feel very fresh. I feel happy. Automatically the emotions is so happy, right? So,
Yes.
so I'm not sure whether I was already in that meditative state or it's something else that I'm not sure. And
Yeah.
plus, even yesterday, when we hear people telling they meditated for so many hours and all, and I find that I don't have that much many hours to sit. So yesterday, when I sat for meditation, I prayed to Patriji and all the masters. I told them, no matter how long I'm going to sit, please make it like a triple, like like many fold of that hours. And when I actually sat for 1 hour, most of the time I will sit and I don't set any time or any music. But when I come out and I check the clock, it's exactly 1 hour that I will sit most of the times. So yesterday when I came on, I felt that I sat for so many hours, but the time was just 1 hour. The duration that I actually set. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it happens, and you can't identify a thoughtless state with the mind.
All right.
So, after sitting for 1 hour is okay, physically you're sitting. But in that 1 hour, how much time you were there in thoughtless state?
That
That's the
is
matter.
that is the one I think, like me and many masters, like that I have satsang with, we are confused. What is actually the thoughtless state? Are we supposed to be aware in that thoughtless state, or we won't be aware of the surroundings? Like for example, like okay, when I'm sitting for meditation, right? I'll be not aware of what's happening unless somebody suddenly opens the door or somebody coughs. Then you are back to the awareness. So that part that you were not aware, was I meditating or was I not meditating?
You're doing meditation. You're meditating.
All right.
It doesn't matter, man, because we cannot understand the thoughtless state with the mind because there is a no mind state.
Mm-hmm.
You need some reference to understand. But in thoughtless state, in a no mind state, there is no reference. It is just blank. So your mind can't understand that. So don't try to understand the thoughtless state because let it happen naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But only thing is, don't focus on the past or future. Past and future is purely a context. Past and future purely it's a stories made up of made by your mind. And how did you when you see when you are in a child in your as in a childhood stage days, you don't have much thoughts, and over a period of time you have accumulated things. And where did you accumulate from? Where did you accumulate that? You are accumulating your thoughts, emotions, feelings, belief systems, perceptions from the people who are surrounding you, surrounded, and from your parents, from your teachers, from your school students, school friends, college friends, and from the workplace, and from the film, from the serials, and you have been collecting a lot of ideas which is originally not yours, and you have taken all those things as your personal ideology, and you have created uh, that personality, and we are struck with that lot of opinions and judgments, and you think that you are that, and you are completely addicted to that. You have become a slave to your own mind, and now you are trying to escape from the mind. The more you try to escape from the mind, the more you will be trapped. So better don't focus on your past, don't focus on your future. When you're especially when you are sitting in meditation, just observe your breath, so that your breath will lead you to a thoughtless state, and that thoughtless state will introduce you to yourself that you are the pure consciousness. When you don't have past or the future context or thoughts, you're left with awareness. There you're identifying yourself not with your personality. There you're identifying yourself as a pure awareness.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Vamsi sir, one more question. Just now you mentioned about we understand King's Chamber, yeah, because one set of the height pyramid, and you mentioned about Queen's Chamber, Queen.
Yes.
Where is it, sir? Where is it positioned?
King's Chamber is 1/3 from the height. King's
Correct.
Chamber is 1/5 from the base.
Oh, Queen, 1/5. Oh,
It is below the King's Chamber.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never.
We need not consider that actually. But
Actually, yes.
especially in one particular pyramid in Andhra, they have constructed a chamber and they name it as a King's Chamber because it is below the King's Chamber. They named it as a
Oh.
Queen's.
Okay.
We need not consider.
Because Andhra I have not been, but in Bangalore we have been. So we just went up to the King's Chamber. So that's why when you mentioned Queen's Chamber, it's just 1/5 of the.
1/5 from the base.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay. 1/5 of the entire height.
Divided by 5 times.
Okay.
Divide a vertical height of a pyramid divided by 5 times. From the base, it's 1/5.
Okay. Thank you.
The King's Chamber is there in Giza pyramid.
Oh, okay.
Because by just copying that, this particular pyramid, they have built a King's Chamber. Otherwise, I need not consider that.
We didn't have chance to enter into Giza pyramid, sir. Only outside. 2011 we went from Malaysia. So, but was not allowed to go inside. So didn't get any permission. So only from outside we visited and came back, sir.
In 2009, first time we all went with the Patriji and inside the King's Chamber for more than 1 hour.
Oh, great. Okay.
Close to 90 people we went.
Wow. Fantastic.
It was a marvelous thing. At least once in a lifetime, sir, we need to visit that Giza pyramid.
Yes. Sure.
Okay, sir, and thank you.
I think Vamsi Garu, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful wisdom with us on the science of pyramids. Really wonderful. And I think Master Chandra also raised some relevant questions, cleared all the doubts for other participants in this platform. Okay. See, most of them are not aware of the Queen's Chamber. So at least now they are aware, So thank you so much, sir. We'll invite you on some other occasion, not on pyramids, maybe some other subject. I know your knowledge is immense. We'll call you some other time, sir. And again, one more time, thank you for really sparing some time with us. Really, we have spent 2 hours with you now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
So much. Thank you all the masters who have come onto the platform. Good night.